What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Filled In Podcast. I'm your host, Phil.
And I'm your other host, Phil. I thought you were going to be like, I'm the host. And I was like, okay,
No.
cool. No. I like being the co-host of
No,
this show.
Well, do you say that? Do you say I'm your co-host?
I don't know. What would I be? I'm just here.
No, you are the co-host. I'm saying when you're announcing that, do you say I'm the co-host?
No,
And then the other person says, and I'm the co-host.
No, I just say I'm Phil. No, we're keeping this in, everybody, just so everybody knows.
Anyways, this week we're talking about Ben 10, Race Against Time.
The live action movie that aired on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, we don't blame you.
Yeah, we didn't.
We also haven't. We have a whole commentary video on this movie. We also have not seen it.
We watched that entire movie, and at the end of it, I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I think Ben fought himself, maybe?
He fought Space himself and then became Space himself? I don't know.
Overall opinion of this movie, not great. This podcast is going to be us talking about Ben 10. That's what it's
Yeah,
gonna be.
we're going to be talking about the cartoon. So, This movie, dog shit, don't watch it.
Dog
The
shit,
end.
don't watch it. Not worth it. I think it's, I don't know. It's cutesy, I guess.
I honestly don't remember enough to even give it a rating.
I would give it a -2 because I was slightly starting to enjoy it a little bit. But I also was probably the company, not the actual movie itself.
Were you enjoying it ironically or unironically? Well, I guess it's negative, so it had to be ironic.
Yeah, it had to be ironically.
Yeah.
See, because like when we say the negative score, you think Fast and Furious runs in the negative. Hard disagree.
No, I think I highly enjoy them, but because they're awful.
I think that it's whatever. Anyway.
I was watching a Map Hat Theory today. I just found out. Did you know in their contracts for the Fast and Furious? Sorry, guys.
I was like-
Immediately off
I was-
track.
Well, they knew what this was.
Did you know on their contract they have every action hero in the movies have like in their contract that they can't lose fights?
Yeah.
And then like
And you know what's funny?
Vin Diesel has it to where he's like he can't take more than a certain amount of punches in any fight. That's fucking crazy.
Literally, why would you do that? I'm sorry, guys, if I'm a little distracted. I've been looking at the Ben 10 Wikipedia article. Oh my god, there is a lot more aliens than I thought there were. Jesus. How would you rank the first, 10 aliens?
What do you mean?
Like Ben 10's original 10.
Like how would I rank them against themselves or against the other aliens?
No, your personal score. Like, what would you like in, your favorite to least favorite?
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
We all know Ghost Freak's my favorite.
That's crazy to me that you
We all know that.
It's crazy you pick Ghost Freak. Why?
I just think he looks sick as fuck.
That's
And-
it?
Yeah. He has Danny Phantom powers. I like that.
Danny Phantom's another one that I really want to rewatch.
Yeah.
There's
Dude,
a lot.
it holds up.
You think?
Yeah. it
Okay,
does.
I'll give it a.
It's pretty dope.
There's a lot of cartoons that I can rewatch and be like, yeah, these are still good. And there's a lot that I can rewatch and I was like, this is still good, but this is definitely for kids. And
Yeah.
I need.
I think it kind of starts off like that, but near when it gets closer to the end of it, like once it gets to the time, the other time movie.
talking about Danny Phantom.
Yeah, Danny
Yeah.
Phantom. When it gets to the time episode
Uh-huh.
where it's like you
That's
see
pretty
his
further
future self.
It's pretty
think-
further down, isn't it?
I thought that was like the end of season 1 or maybe the end of season 2.
I don't know.
It's pretty early on, I think. But from there on, I think it's pretty sick.
Okay, sick. I'll give it a rewatch because I think that way about Ben 10. I think at the first beginning I was like, this is really kid and cutesy, and they still have a lot of those episodes, but then there's a really weird dark episode in there every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I think it's just super entertaining. I hate to sound like an old fucking guy,
Yeah.
but they just don't make cartoons like they used to.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't think it's going to be like if you rewatch Ben 10 or if you rewatch Danny Phantom, it's not going to be a show that's like Gravity Falls. You know what I mean? Where it's just as entertaining for adults as it is for kids.
See, I disagree.
You don't think?
Well, for Ben 10, it's still enjoyable for me. Maybe more so Alien Force. Ben 10 itself, I guess, I don't know, because I still find it pretty entertaining.
Yeah. I guess I mean that it's not like Five Head.
Yeah, I guess
Like
that's true.
it's not super highbrow
Okay, then yeah, I would agree with that.
writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're not going to get any deep existential questions or think about something really internally watching Ben 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's fair.
Yeah. I would say Avatar's like that. Gravity Falls is like that. But Danny Phantom is definitely not like that.
You know what's funny? I was watching the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
It's definitely like that.
Is it?
Well, it's just there's a lot
I've
of...
actually never seen the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's really good.
Yeah, I hear.
I highly recommend it. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man cartoons.
Really?
Yeah, because it a good Spider-Man story rides the line of like, of Peter being like fucking just shit on all the time and just being like, I gotta do it because I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's like the crucial part. And that show does a really good job of it because he has a lot of high highs and a lot of low lows.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. They don't make cartoons like they used to.
Well, I just think Ben 10 is like such a weird, like conceptually, that's like such a cool idea. And then they just milked it for like years.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. There's still like a version of it on TV.
Oh yeah.
It's been like rebooted.
It's got like 4 different art styles.
Yeah, it's been like rebooted like 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
right? That's crazy to me.
I heard that they're rebooting Fairly Odd Parents. You hear that?
Oh, really?
Yeah. They're not, but it's like, it's not about Timmy. It's like it's a offshoot. It's a completely different kid.
I thought they already did that.
No, they rebooted it, but that was a sequel show. That was Timmy having to share his fairies with
Yeah.
another kid.
Oh, and then there's another thing after that?
Yeah, they're doing it to where like Timmy's not even involved.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just another Fairly Odd Parents.
You think if you take Timmy out, then that kind of fucks up the dynamic of that show?
I don't think necessarily. I think it
Maybe
does
just
for
maybe just his character, I guess.
yeah. I mean, they're still gonna have a kid though,
Yeah,
and the
still gonna
kid's
have-
still gonna get shit on.
Yeah, I still
'cause-
think they're gonna have a kid, but like Timmy's personality, do you think carries that show a little bit?
No, I think Cosmo and Wanda do.
See, I disagree.
Really?
I think Timmy just like is like a little just like a selfish little kid,
He is for
and it
sure.
just carries it a little bit more. Like he means well, but he is selfish.
Yeah.
I didn't think we would be in depth talking about Fairly Odd Parents. Never thought I'd look into the deep interwebs of that.
But yeah, I mean, like even art styles now, I feel like are all very similar,
Yeah,
and premises of shows. I feel like shows now, like cartoons, are. I guess there's like the Loud House, which honestly is a pretty good cartoon. Not made by a good guy, but it is a pretty good cartoon.
was it not?
No.
Oh, why?
He has like some, like
Oh, Dan Schneider things.
yeah,
Oh, gross.
yeah,
Oh, god damn. I
yeah,
was liking that show too.
yeah. I was too.
I need people to stop being creative and shitty because I'm
You're
running.
really fucking up my art.
I'm really running out of things to like, guys.
But yeah. So like, I would say the Loud House is kind of like this, but cartoons back in the day, I feel like had way more of like a premise, like a hook.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Codename Kids Next Door. That show has a fucking hook.
it's kids that are spies, and you don't really know if it's their imagination. Like,
Right.
I think you kind of like that's the assumption, but then they do shit that like reacts with their real world, and I was
Mhm.
like, huh.
Yeah.
I
But like, what's an example of a cartoon that's come out recently,
couldn't even.
other
tell you.
than the Loud House?
I don't know, We Bear Bears, Clarence.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of cartoons now are like
Am I dumb? I feel like there's more though.
even like Steven's Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just kind of like wacky slop, if that makes sense.
Steven's Universe?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I disagree.
You think?
Have you watched Steven's Universe?
Not much of it. I've only seen a little bit, but I feel like a lot of shows are taking off of like what SpongeBob is now, because
Mhm.
SpongeBob had a really good hook, and now it's just kind of wacky slop.
Yeah, I, you know what? I get what you're talking about because I've noticed that with cartoons on the rise, is that they just have like random, weird, quirky energy.
Yeah.
And that's the premise of the show
Yeah.
instead of like an actual like ongoing thing. Steven Universe, I genuinely think was really good. Well, okay, let me take that back. I think half of it is really good
Hmm.
because half of it has like a main like plot line and there's like events that happen and like really like integral story parts,
Hmm.
and then the other half is fucking filler,
Yeah.
and that's just crazy to me.
We say that like we're not Naruto fans.
No, because it's honestly like really different.
Is it?
Because like at least the filler in Naruto, they're doing something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like Steven like will have an episode where he's like fighting crystal gems or fighting other like aliens,
Mm-hmm.
and he almost gets fucking killed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next episode right after that is like, let's take a weird picnic.
Yeah.
And like at least Naruto's filler, like they're like still doing ninja shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. But
It-
like Gumball is super just like shit's happening.
I think Gumball's funny though.
It's funny. That's
Yeah.
the thing. A lot of these shows are like Teen Titans Go is like that.
Mhm.
It's got fucking great jokes, but it's not like original Teen Titans. There's not a story going throughout it that's like gripping. You know what I
what's
mean?
Okay, so you know what I think that would be? I think way back in the 2000s, a lot of cartoons were more based of like an adventure,
Mm-hmm.
and like now cartoons are more comedy like focused, I guess.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. because I think like a lot of cartoons like back in the day, they were like superheroes doing shit, fighting. There was like that's like kind of the main hook. Even Kids Next Door, like you said,
Yeah.
like it was a comedy show really, but each episode they had like a new gadget, new little villain they were
Mhm.
fighting. That was the hook.
Yeah.
As of now, it's just like kind of they're going on like weird bits,
Yeah.
which is what SpongeBob is. So I guess that makes sense when you're talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And I feel like Gravity Falls wrote that line really well because, like, there were moments when you're watching it where you're like, this kind of feels like wacky, like, just dumb shit. And then you get to the end of the season and you're like, oh my God, it had everything tied together. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
Like the gnomes. The gnome episode was stupid as fuck. But then you see them come, like, almost like One Piece. You see them come back later and you're like,
Well, I like having these conversations talking about episodic kind of shows, and then
Mhm.
there's like a story-driven show where it's like a long ongoing plot.
yeah.
And
And,
I think-
I would like to clarify real quick before you get into that point.
Mm.
I don't need shows to be a long ongoing plot.
No.
I think episodic shows are fine.
Yeah, no. If that's what it is, if that's what you're tuning in for. Like I like Flapjack is still really good.
Yeah.
But it is just like episodic, just weird, wacky times.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen like a lot of Rise recently, and I love this. Of it was a long ongoing plot, but each episode was like episodic.
Yeah.
So like Adventure Time's a great example because they would do weird, wacky episodes all the time. But every once in a while, there's a lure or a plot
Yeah.
element that goes into like a long arcing story.
Yeah. I think episodic shows are done the best when like Doctor Who started doing this, a similar thing where like it's mainly just adventure of the week.
Uh-huh.
Like he's on this planet and this is happening. But at the end of the episode, they'll be like there was this one ongoing story where there was a crack in the universe.
Yeah.
And everywhere you went, it just kind of showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And he would just look at it for a second and be like, what the fuck? And then move on. But then that all accumulated into the final, like the season finale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's when episodic shows are at their best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because Adventure Time started off, like if you watch the earlier seasons, that's why I tell people it's like very rough to get into Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Because the earlier seasons are very made for kids. They're going like weird, like this week we turned everybody into a zombie. What are we gonna do?
Mhm.
And then it slowly progresses into like this thing of Finn trying to become a hero and becoming like his own actual character,
Mhm.
and like having like what am I looking for? Like a character arc,
Mhm.
which is fucking insane for like that kind of show.
Mhm.
Like if you watch like a couple of the first episodes and then a couple of the last episodes of Adventure Time, completely different fucking vibe
Really?
in my mind. Oh yeah.
Why do you think that happens? Do you think that's a precedent set by the studio? Do you think that was planned from the beginning? Or do you think that the writers just got bored of writing that and was like, I want to write something that's like meaningful?
I think it's a little mixture of the two. So I think most of the time, and this is just my opinion, I have no idea. I've not like read any interviews or anything.
Mhm.
But if it was me, I'd probably be like, I bet the first 2 or some seasons they put in the Cartoon Network and they're like, nah, this is just like another random cartoon, like, ooh, funny.
Yeah.
And they were doing that, and then they slipped in this stuff. And so Adventure Time's already popular by the 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And now they got an audience. So now
Mhm.
that they got that audience, they can incorporate these more like long going narratives.
Okay.
And then that's how they kind of like build their momentum to have like an actual story.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to Ben 10, you see that all the time in that show.
Yeah.
Because like the first season is kind of just he's fighting like this villain of the week, and then there's an ongoing plot, and then you see reoccurring villains, and then like Ben's going up against like universal threats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's forming a team in like Alien Force. So so like I think it's like a slow progression of that.
Yeah. It's so fucking crazy watching Ben 10 and you see the first episode and it's this kid, he gets this weird little gadget
Uh-huh.
and he can turn into an alien for like 10 minutes. And he's like not good at it. He can't use his powers.
Yeah.
And by the end of Ben 10, he's like an omniversal, like omnipotent god.
He's a threat for sure. I think what
like if he can get 2 people on his side in his mind, he can like delete Superman from the universe. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Dude, honestly, the Omnitrix is fucking broken.
Yeah. The Omnitrix is a problem.
Dude, the Omnitrix prototype, which was like the one that he had in the first season, broken as fuck.
Yeah.
Cause like and I think it's funny that he brings the Omnitrix back. He's like, yeah, it was my first piece of work. He's like, there's a lot of like kinks and stuff. I was like, oh, like a bomb that destroys half the universe. Why would you put that in there?
He's like, I don't know.
He's like, "Guys, I needed to." Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, because I do like just the character progression of Ben because he's still like just a goof,
Mm-hmm.
but he does try his hardest to be like the best hero he can be.
Right.
And I think you see that way more in Alien Force because like I forgot about this that like Gwen and Ben are like the same age, aren't they?
Yeah.
But in Alien Force, like it seems like she's older than him.
Well, you know what they say, girls mature faster than boys.
It's probably that. And then also, I love that Kevin joins their team.
You do?
I love their dynamic.
I don't like Kevin.
Really?
I don't like him that much, honestly.
Not even in Alien Force.
I don't remember much of Alien Force.
Oh.
I know I watched it all, but I don't remember that much.
I
of
think
it.
they have a great dynamic.
Do they?
They have a really weird, like they seem like most of the time it kind of feels like Gwen and Kevin are dating and Ben's just like, I'm also here.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. I don't know why I think they just work well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got two dudes and then you got a girl that's like related to this guy.
And is also like an alien witch.
That was my most annoying. I hated that retcon so much because it doesn't even fucking make sense.
Yeah.
She's like, I use all these spells and stuff, and they're like, yeah, well,
You
you're an
didn't have
alien
to.
now.
So you're stupid for that.
You're doing what? And in the first season, which they reference and is canon, she is using spells.
Yeah.
Like she fully just uses magic.
Like she had a spell book.
Yeah, she had a spell book and she had like she would control plants. Like, yeah, it was alien stuff. I thought it would have been a better idea if they just said she was an alien, but then like gave her alien magic.
Mm-hmm.
I always think that's kind of weird how we never like you go into like so we have like if you look at like the DC universe,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of magicians here.
Yeah.
But if you go to like another planet, which they have other planets, there's not like a whole lot of other sorcerers on other planets, right?
Damn, I've never thought about that.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, you're totally right.
Because I would think like a magic system works well. Not to
There are definitely other planets that thought of the concept of magic.
yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
There was have you read a Doomsday Clock?
Mhm.
You read it?
Yeah.
When Dr. Manhattan's just like fucking busting through the DC universe,
Mhm.
he comes against all the magic users, and I was like, oh, I wonder how he's gonna go against that. And he's like, oh, they're just kind of like people that they're like coding nerds that find something wrong, like little coding errors in the universe. And I was like, that's such a weird way to describe magic, but he's totally right.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
But back to Ben 10.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like just as a concept? How do you feel about art style changes when they want to progress a show? And which art style of Ben 10 do you think is the worst?
Do I think it's the worst? I hate the one where he looks like a toddler.
Yeah, I hate that. I was gonna say that. That
one's
my
dog
least
shit.
favorite. It's like suit American Chibi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what happened? You know what's funny? Whenever I see that, there's an episode in Ben 10 where they make like a cartoon of his aliens without his knowledge, and it looks like it's like a little kids show, like for toddlers and like 5-year-olds. That's what the current art style looks like now to me.
Yeah.
Or maybe not the current one. I don't know exactly what the current art style is. I get like really kind of annoyed sometimes with art style changes, especially for as an artist. It just bugs me because I'm used to like an art style and I was like, ooh, I like this. And then when they change it, sometimes it's like for the better, but sometimes it's for the worse too. Most likely sometimes it's for the worse. And I'm okay doing that, but just mid-season it's very aggravating.
Yeah. My least favorite example of that is American Dragon.
Yeah.
And the reason is because one, the change was super drastic.
Uh-huh.
And two, this is such a dumb reason to not like this, but
Okay.
in the original, like they just changed how his dragon looked.
Yeah.
He became like just a different dragon.
Yeah, and I get it. It looks more like a classical Chinese dragon. I understand that was the idea. It looks dorky. He looks like a dork.
It does look dorky, but even if it looked cooler,
Yeah.
I would still be annoyed because I would be like, that's not his dragon.
That's not how he functions. Because his other dragon is like this muscular, fit,
just fucking yoked.
just yoked, and he has like a way of fighting. And this other dragon just like slithers around things, which is cool. But now I'm already connected to this other fight style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand art changes. You know, it's really weird because I was reading a manga called D. Gray Man.
Mm-hmm.
Not important, but it's halfway through reading it. I feel like the manga artist changed or something.
Really?
Yeah, because this is the first time I ever saw because usually when I'm reading a manga, you can see like from their first comic to their last, it's still the same artist, but you can see their style has just evolved.
Yeah.
And that's different to me. This was like a drastic, just like stark change one day.
Yeah.
I was just reading one chapter. I was like, oh, Why is everything so fucking detailed?
Mhm.
It made me like very uncomfortable.
You know what's funny? You're gonna feel that same way watching when we get to the end of Wano in One Piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why do you say that?
because he changed the art style
Does he?
for Egghead Island. It changes.
Are you talking about like the cartoon, like Year 5 Luffy, or
No, it's after that.
Oh, he just changes completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, shocker. Oda does something stupid? No way.
All right, we don't need the One Piece stands on us yet.
Come at me, One Piece fans. I said, just kidding. I like Oda. I like Oda for who he is. I think he's a fun person.
I appreciate Oda. I just don't think he's very funny.
Okay, Philip. What did you just say?
I need to speak my truth.
Well, dude, and I honestly, I really fucking, I hate reading Boruto's manga because I do not like that artist.
Really?
No.
I think it's Kishimoto now again.
Yeah, it is now, but like when you're first,
earlier.
yeah,
Yeah.
when you're first reading it, the first like 100 chapters, it's this other artist,
Yeah.
and it's really weird to me because it's like really uncanny valley
Mm-hmm.
because all of the characters are anime-ish, but they look like just more detailed and more human. Naruto shouldn't look more human. I don't know why that like just throws me off, and I'm just like, gross, ew, stop.
Yeah. I need to get that app from you because I really want to start reading Two Blue Vortex.
What's that?
It's a Bardo after the time skip. Apparently Kishimoto is cooking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Literally, he came back and fixed the series in like 3 chapters.
That's fucking
And then
insane.
has just been on a run.
Because I was reading Boruto and I was just like, man, I just do not care, I guess. I was like, I really tried. And then everyone's like, it's got better. It's good now. And I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot, I guess.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm just going to skip to when because I know what happens throughout it just because I've been keeping up on it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, honestly, when I start reading it, I'm probably just going to skip to when Kishimoto started writing it again.
No, don't do that.
I'm going to do that.
No, why?
Yes.
No, that's so garbage.
Because I know what happened. And
no, but you didn't see it. You didn't know what happened.
Well, I did see. I've read a lot, or I've watched a lot of the anime.
Have you though?
Yeah, well, not a lot. I guess I haven't watched a lot of the anime. I watched all of the non-filler of the anime.
Okay, then there you go.
I've watched 30% of the anime.
Dude, honestly, I like seeing the anime inspiredness in Ben 10.
I do too. I really like that when American styles like delve into that.
You can definitely tell that they're inspired by comic books and manga and like nerd shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite episodes of Ben 10 is when he goes into the future and he sees his future self. And then his future self is just in alien form all the time.
Dude, why is that just that's just like a cartoon staple from our era. I just talked about how fucking Codename Kids Next Door did that.
Yeah.
Fucking Ben 10 did that.
Yeah.
Fucking
Teen Titans did that.
Teen Titans did that. Danny Phantom did that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I didn't think about that either. I think it's just like a fun plot line. You know, it's funny in the story I was writing now, I did that too.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought it'd be funny. But it wasn't. They didn't see their future selves. They saw like a lot of their like future grandchildren.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but I like that. But I like that episode because like you see how much like Ben could just run like mollywop somebody in that form.
Yeah. Yeah, and wasn't he able to just like change from one to the other, like just like on a whim?
Yeah, he unlocked like just the code breaker.
Yeah,
where he could just go back and forth between them, and then he never like goes into human form ever.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Fairly Odd Parents did that.
Yeah, but yeah,
and he was just an old schlubby piece of shit.
That's what Timmy would be.
Yeah,
dude, you remember the live action Timmy Fairly Odd Parents movie
with Drake Bell?
Yeah,
also not a good guy.
Also not a good guy. Also did things. God damn. Why the fuck can I
Let me enjoy things?
I hate when somebody's like, did you hear about this person? I was like, fuck, man. If they did something, I'm going to fucking...
God damn it.
If they did something, I'm going to off myself.
Who would be the one person that just like pushed you over the edge and you're like, there's no hope for this world if you found out that they were just like abhorrent?
Dude, honestly, if something came out that, who's that old... he was like that old, like, you're a good neighbor PBS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
If Mr. Rogers came out and he was like a pedophile, I'd be like, all right, well, fuck it. Let's just restart humanity. Because, like, what the fuck can I have? What would be like that for you?
Probably Mr. Rogers. Maybe Stan Lee would be a bad one.
Stan Lee would be a bad one. Stan Lee would fuck me up. If Stan Lee came out as a racist, I'd be kind of pissed about it because he talked about it all the time that he was like wanting to make everything super inclusive and include everybody. And just if I heard that he said the N-word one day, I was like, oh my God, fuck. The fuck can I like? That's a whole facet of things I read that is just gone now.
I don't know. I'm pretty good about separating art from the artist.
I am too, honestly.
You know?
There was like Rurouni Kenshin. People like, that guy was a pedophile. I was like, yeah, man, but like, it's just so pretty good.
Yeah. Even with like Harry Potter and stuff, I think it's so ridiculous that people like got on the, like, we're trying to boycott the video game that came out last year.
Dude, imagine how many people that worked on that game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you're boycotting it because of one person who didn't even touch the game.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with it.
Has no involvement
Just
with it.
invented the universe. And hundreds of people poured their art and their heart and soul into it. And you're just like, you can't play it because of someone who's not even involved in this project.
Do you think there's like a fine line between like when something becomes like when a property becomes so big that it kind of like the person who created it doesn't have any authority over it?
Yeah.
I think about that a lot with Star Wars.
Dude, I think even like Kanye's music is at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because he had 100 people working on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Oh, really?
100 producers and musicians and engineers.
That's crazy.
And all of this shit. Like, it's not just him. It's a fucking whole project.
I guess I never really thought of it from like a music standpoint, but again, that's totally true. That can happen.
Yeah.
Well, because I was thinking like from George Lucas' standpoints, he made like these he made like 6 movies, right? He made the prequels.
Yeah.
So he made these 6 movies, and I'm assuming maybe a couple other like additional reading material, but I don't think he like, because he made it very stark that he did not write any of those.
Yeah.
But that universe,
That's why they're not canon.
Yeah, but that universe just fucking blew up around him.
Yeah.
That I bet there's like lore that even he wouldn't know, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he knows everything.
No, he definitely doesn't.
Dude, that's
he didn't know the lore while writing it. I'll say it.
And isn't that fucking insane that you could say that?
Yeah.
That he didn't know the lore of this thing that he created? That blows my mind. That's such a fucking weird concept. That you could just be like, that's not how it happened. Well, I literally made it. So yes, I can say that. Nah, I don't think that's right. No, but that's the real. No.
No, you're wrong.
No, but no, you're wrong. Okay.
Dude, I pray to God that I invent a universe that like overtakes me one day.
Really?
I would love that. First off, I would make a bag. I would be dumb rich.
Yeah. I don't know, because like I kind of just I feel like that way. I feel like people get that way a little bit now with Avatar, actually.
Yeah. Avatar, honestly, I think has surpassed its creators.
Oh, for sure. It's become this global fucking
phenomenon. Yeah.
Superpower.
I think it's crazy that people like Oda and Kishimoto were able to not do that.
You think?
Yeah. I think that well, maybe not Kishimoto. I guess that the Naruto movies and like filler and all that stuff, like he probably didn't have a huge hand in that.
I don't think anybody really is counting on those anyway, though.
Yeah. But like Oda has had like a fucking, that's why he's like he's the richest mangaka, and by a wide margin.
Why? Because he's just let everybody like run his own thing, or
no? Because he runs it.
Oda?
I don't think he's given any of his like rights away.
Well, I don't think
for his project.
Well, I think that's like another different like differentiation between that, because I don't think it's like him giving out rights. I think it's like people just made something, like even people that made like fan counts or like talk theories or stuff about One Piece have like a hold on it more than he does sometimes.
Maybe.
Yeah. And it's funny because to me, it seems like Oda does not give 2 fucks about his universe.
I feel like he doesn't.
But it's like funny because like I respect that about him.
Yeah.
Because me and Philip have both been, Phil's been watching and me reading One Piece. I think we've mentioned this on another podcast.
Yeah, we have.
But I've been reading more of the story, like little tidbits that he has at the end of each like chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll be like, "Is this superpower bigger than this one?" He's like, "The biggest power is Nami's tits." I was like, "Cool, thanks, Oda."
He's also right.
Facts.
See those things? God damn.
He's like, "Who's the fastest character in One Piece?" Nah, Chopper, sure.
No way you said Chopper.
Dude, I think he's just trolling all the time when he writes those.
Oh, he for sure is.
Yeah, but I just think it's so
I don't
funny.
think he's ever written anything in his life that he's not trolling with. Genuinely.
Yeah, genuinely. What I'm reading right now. But overall, Ben 10 was a great cartoon.
Dog shit movie.
Dog shit movie. Didn't remember it. Couldn't tell you what happened.
But that being said, go watch our commentary. It was really funny.
Yeah, go watch our commentary. It's super funny.
We had a lot of good bits.
We had a lot of good bits. Got a little dark near the end.
Well, from the beginning. It was pretty consistently
Pretty
dark.
off rip, yeah. But overall, if you want to have a fun time with a buddy, get drunk and watch it. I highly recommend it. But other than that, don't watch it. It's a waste of your time.
Yeah. All right.
Any closing arguments that you have for that?
I don't think so. I
All
think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
All right, guys. It's
All
been a
right.
fun time with Filled In Podcast. I'm Phil.
And I'm Phil.
And you've just been
Filled in. I'm the main host.
Okay. Fuck me, I guess. It's whatever.